Welcome to the Game of Thrones podcast, the officially unofficial podcast for Game of Thrones on HBO. I'm Jim.
I'm Aaron.
And we just got done watching season 5, episode 10, titled Mother's Mercy. I really blasted through that intro because I'm so eager to talk about this episode.
Me too.
What do you think of it as a season finale?
Man, I had so many complex emotions. Can we get some meta bald move news out of the way first?
Let's start with it.
So before I go into this, I need to ask a few questions if it please the court. Have you heard any of our spoiler casts?
Zero.
And then you don't also subscribe to the Game of Thrones email list the bald move gets. You're not on that list.
There's a list? No.
Yeah. So
if there's a list, I'm not on it.
Somebody asked me whether Benjen Stark could show up before the end of the season. This is back, I think, for the spoiler cast in episode 507. And this was my response on air. I will say this, if Benjen Stark shows up in episode 10, I will take red lipstick and I will write the word dick on my forehead for the live video version of our main podcast. That's how confident I am that he is not going to show up. If Benjen Stark shows back up, I don't know what I go on at length about my incredulous. Now.
Yeah.
So background, first of all, if you had to judge, I think you would be more inclined to come down on the side of me having to put the word dick on my forehead.
It would certainly be funny, yes.
Am I on the hook for this? Because here's the other thing is that the previously on leaked about 2 days ago, and I've been getting a steady stream of emails like, get the red lipstick out, practice your backwards handwriting in a mirror.
Okay.
And I saw it, and then I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's a fake. Maybe they've just, Were
you worried? Were you like, well, they're talking about Benjen. This is bad news.
When the actual episode started and that was the real previously on, I was sweating like Cersei in the Great Sept of Baelor. Yeah, I was. But then we get to the end. I feel like I'm not on the hook for this. He did not show up in this episode. He was used as a ruse.
I agree. He was not in this episode, period. End of story. He was not in the episode. Sorry.
Thank you.
As funny as it would be, and as much as I think you need dick written on your forehead, he was not in the episode. I
swear, because like I learned the last time, because remember I said that if so-and-so, I forget what the exact bet was for Walking Dead, I would drink a whole fifth of whiskey or Southern Comfort on the air. No, I got out. Like it was almost, but I didn't have to do it, and thank God for my liver. So I scaled it down. I almost said I was going to eat that fucking scorpion. And then I downshifted in confidence, like, no, I can't do that. So I think I'm off the hook.
I think so too.
Now, having said that, I thought this was a really good episode, and I thought that it brought me around on a lot of plots that I was kind of on a lot of the year, with the exception of Dorne, because Dorne still is shit and is terrible.
Yeah, I'm curious about Dorne. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Dorne, if they don't turn that fucking ship around, they are 100 yards from the person who just murdered his daughter. If he doesn't command them to turn that ship around, I'm going to be so pissed.
And then what?
Start a murdering spree. Take Bronn, go into the palace and start murdering people.
Just throw Bronn like Sonic the Hedgehog into a bunch of
Tasmanian
mecha bots.
Devil. Just have him spin with the sword.
All right.
Right? I mean, they've got to go deal with this. They can't just sail all the way back to King's Landing and then
with Myrcella's corpse.
Well, she died 6-7 days ago.
Well, we got the prince. I mean, here's the thing.
You got to do something.
So how smart is Jaime? Because it looks bad. It looks bad for Trystane, man. The reason I say Dorne sucks so bad is because this just shows, it just makes Dorne look like a fool, man. It really does, because he's and the Sand Snakes are still terrible. And
the interesting part about that, I think, is that Dorne may not understand what went on here, and he may never find out until it's too late.
He's not stupid. But
what I'm saying is, like, if Jaime goes back and he says, okay, let's play this cool. We've got a hostage here. We can do something with this. He may never know that his plan went wrong until his son is in serious trouble.
All I needed for Dorne to be redeemed, and they could keep doing the stupid saying. I actually thought the moment between Jaime and Myrcella was really nice, and I'm thinking like, man, how can I see this happening from a book perspective? Because it just seems like this is a potentially relationship that just blows the whole Lannister dynamic wide open.
Yeah.
And then her nose started bleeding. I'm like, God damn it. God, they almost did something interesting with this. And God damn it.
Did you know that was coming?
No, hell no.
No? Okay.
All I needed was for Doran to stand up and articulate a plan. As a show
he's not
watcher,
stand up. I hate to I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Oh my God, you're right. You're right. He's a Roosevelt type.
But continue. Sorry.
All I needed was for him to articulate a goddamn plan. That's all book reader and show watcher of me wants to know is what the fuck is your plan, asshole?
Who does he have to confide in though? Right? Like, does he trust what's her name? Alara and Anara? What is her name?
Alaria, yeah.
Alaria enough to confide in her? No. Who's his
X-Man? Ario Hota.
Really? That guy's not going to give a shit.
He can just monologue to that guy. Yeah, exactly. He can just monologue something. Seriously, this Dorne stuff is a fucking fiasco.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It spanned the whole season. It took Jamie. I'm speechless about this, but I don't want to harp on that because everything else was really pretty good.
And almost everything else, yeah.
Like I thought the Arya stuff paid off. I mean, it's like been a rough year for violence against women in Game of Thrones, and this was a pinnacle in some ways episode, but
it's so confusing though, right? Like I don't understand anything, and maybe I'm not supposed to. Maybe that's the point. Is that the Faceless Men are so confusing that Arya doesn't understand it. Probably Jaqen barely understands it.
Right.
Like I certainly don't.
It's a cargo cult type of thing. Because that's another thing is like a Double D remix that essentially all happens, but the way they presented the order of things, I think makes it a lot more confusing. And I'm not sure if that's intentional. And that's the thing. Like now that I've seen how this Stannis thing worked out, because I want to go to that next.
Okay.
I'm kind of wanting to tone down the criticism until I see the full playbook, because I felt like the Stannis thing was really satisfying.
Yeah, I'm glad that Brienne got to kill him.
That was a little too convenient. All of the timing, and of course, I have a little issue with that. But no, Stannis, the whole fact that it looked like the Red God had come through. And then Melisandre got called on her bullshit,
and she bails.
And
I was so angry.
Selyse hung herself. Like it was just everything turned to ash in his mouth, and that's exactly what should happen after you burn your daughter, Stannis.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And it felt like maybe they needed that last episode for Stannis for us to really go, all right, Brienne, go in there and kill him.
Yeah,
that's what I want to see.
Because it took something that, like, if he didn't burn Shireen. And I can't even fucking believe I'm coming around on this. I really can't.
I know.
If he didn't burn Shireen and he marches into the Boltons and gets just torn up, I don't know, as fans, we could stand it.
Yeah.
But somehow they fucking judo flip that around to where that's almost a moment of triumph.
Yep.
And then the fact that Sansa and Theon do the cliffhanger business.
What the fuck? They just jumped off the wall? They just jumped off the wall to their deaths. To their inevitable deaths.
That's essentially what happens.
That's a moat.
That's essentially what happens in the books, and that's essentially where we're left. Yeah, except for it's not Sansa. So it's like that's the other thing. Like this is
okay. I don't even want to go down.
Yeah,
that road.
Me either.
I have no idea.
But I thought it was really cool. She didn't gore Ramsay in the nutsack. She picked the lock. She lit a candle, and ultimately her savior. And that just felt so fucking Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Brienne
the timing of everything just worked out.
A personal moment of vengeance, betrayed her duty.
Yep.
And that's all it took. And then Sansa decided whether live or die. I mean, her throwing Miranda off that fucking ledge and then jumping. I think that's why it worked so well. Like, I don't know if they live or die.
Okay.
But just chucking Miranda off and watch her just tomato can. And then they do the same thing on the other side of the wall. The implication's pretty clear.
And they're clearly going to land on their backs. Like, what can possibly come of that? They can't just have them both plummet to their deaths next episode. Like, come back season 6, episode 1, boom, first scene, they're both dead. That would be ridiculous.
If they're dead, I gotta say that is kind of a really great moment of agency for both Theon and Sansa. Like Sansa said, if I'm not going to get out of this, I'd rather end it on my own terms with me still intact. I think Theon snapped back a little bit, so if they die, that's kind of a romantic, and not in like a sexual that kind of, but like, you know, the Anne Green Gables sense of the word. It's very romantic. They're in that's what it is.
Sure. Yeah, maybe they're gonna like the wall kind of looked curved at one angle. Like I don't know if they're gonna Mission Impossible their way down it or something. Like I don't know, man. They seem to be just plummeting to their deaths. Whatever. I mean, we could talk about Jon Snow, or we could talk about Cersei. One of the two, because I really want to talk about them.
Okay, let's talk about Cersei. Let's leave the cliffhanger, one of the mini cliffhangers. Okay. The other thing I really liked about this episode is it seemed to work as just a massive cliffhangers.
Oh yeah,
like we went for broke. We gave you like 6 different cliffhangers that you have to deal with. Don't forget, we got to talk about Dany too.
Yeah, and Tyrion,
which I thought that was all pretty fucking awesome too.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what'd you say, Cersei?
You know, they play with you a little bit in these scenes, right? Like they've pitted 2 bad guys against each other. I hate the fucking sparrows. I hate Cersei. Which do I hate more?
I know.
In any given moment, it could be different.
It's it's another Stannis Bolton situation.
It is. It really is. And so, like when Cersei does this walk of shame, which puts all other walks of shame to shame.
Sure.
Like this is the ultimate one.
Sure.
I feel slightly bad for her.
No.
And I know that as soon as she gets to the Red Keep, this is the biggest mistake the High Septon ever made. As soon as she gets to the Red Keep, she's going to turn around and murder all of these people. And now she's got the Mountain to do it. That was fucking epic. The Mountain in his golden armor was awesome. That is everything I wanted to see in the finale.
Okay, I'm glad to hear you say that, because I was a little it's just like the Saruman the Dingy from last season.
Really, like take Frankenstein, except
it's a little too
bigger,
Frankenstein.
A bigger, beefier, meaner version of Frankenstein, and put him in fucking armor with a sword.
Yeah, no, that's
send him
literally
rampaging.
what it looks like. That's literally what it looks like. And I guess I was hoping for something. I mean,
that's what I wanted.
You're right. Robert the Strong in the books I think that's his name. I'm sure if they mentioned the episode, I don't give a shit. That's not it's the dude's name. He goes by Robert Strong in the books. Is the Mountain in the fucking full armor with visor, but seeing the eyes somehow, the makeup job on that was a little too bug-eyed and piggy and a little too wheezy,
a little too dead looking.
Yeah, like what's everybody else in the Red Keep thinking?
I love it, man. Like, you take that helmet off and everybody freaks the fuck out and tries to kill him because he's an abomination. But you put the helmet on him and they're just like, this guy's scary. Yeah. I don't want to interact with him.
I wish it was a little bit, I don't know. There's something a little bit obvious about it that I wish they could have done with, like, you know, I don't know, some kind of ring wraith deal where his helmet's more like black. You can't see into it. It's scarier that way than seeing a dude with, like, you know, bruising purplish morbidity makeup on it.
It makes you really wonder, like, what's the full picture look like under that helmet?
I get that. To me, but like I said, that's clearly personal taste.
Yeah.
But the other thing is I think Cersei is an overly ambitious, average intelligence person that thinks she's a Machiavellian genius.
Sure.
But I do respect her for the way she dealt with that whole situation.
She knew it was her only way out.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's it. She's got to go through this. She'll get past it, and then she'll have her revenge, I guess.
Now, what I think is interesting is, will she actually get her revenge? Because
it's Game of Thrones.
It's Game of Thrones, and she's also all those things I said about her being overambitious, average intelligence, not that. And we got the White Walkers, we got Dany on dragons now, we got Dorne, which is going to be some kind of continual shitstorm.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that she has to worry about other than petty revenge. So, like, can she get petty revenge, and will it be a Pyrrhic victory? That's probably what's going to happen.
Okay, I hope so. What about Dany? I want to talk briefly about Dany, because I think this ring dropping business is bullshit.
I was surprised.
100% complete bullshit.
Yeah.
No one is going to. They're going. Archaeologists 2,000 years from now are going to find that fucking ring.
No, man.
And go, where did this come from?
No. It's going to be Dario Aragorn.
Come on, man.
Not idly do the leaves of Lothlorien's rings fall, and he's going to storm off with his dwarf and elf companion, and they'll hunt her down.
There's like some ring radar they've got.
And Treebeard will come out cradling her, and he'll be taking Drogon out for a walk. It's gonna be awesome.
Complete bullshit, right?
I honestly don't know. I have no fucking clue because that exactly happens in the books, except for she drops the ring in the show. So that's an additional piece of information I don't have, and I have that. I'm like, what the fuck? Because I'm like you. If Dario finds that,
yeah,
literal. It's
finding a needle in the haystack.
Finding a needle in a haystack is actually solvable because presumably there's just a finite haystack,
a confined area which you need to search.
Use a magnet, set it on fire, whatever. But
I don't get it, man. They can't possibly hope that that's going to come back.
I don't know.
I watched the inside the episode thing, and it makes it sound like they dropped that ring on purpose so someone will find it.
Honestly, if that is something that they use to like goose through 6 chapters of, whatever, if that's the only piece of bullshit I have to swallow to get Dany back to Tyrion and the action and but the important thing is this is Khal Drogo's old Khalasar.
Yeah.
That they wrote off, that his blood riders, whatever, wrote off and abandoned her. What is she going to do now? Like, she's got the dragon there within hailing frequency distance, I guess.
Sure, but
she could do her Aquaman deal.
I mean, they were all friendly when Khal Drogo was around.
Oh, they're not at all friendly. No, they did not part on good terms.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they're friendly anymore. So I don't know.
He left her the old and sick and kind of like, also ran Dothraki and everybody else took off with him. So
all right, that's so long ago I don't even remember. But
sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love also Varys and Tyrion getting the ball and chain. Surprise renewal after it's
glorious. And now like Tyrion is king of Marine, at least temporarily.
Acting king.
Speaking through what's her name?
Missandei and the Grey Worm.
Yeah, speaking through her. And he's got Varys by his side.
That was glorious.
Be his eyes and ears and advisor. Like, not that Tyrion really needs an advisor.
He needs a spy master, though.
But he does need a spy master, yeah. Like, if anybody's going to tame the Sons of the Harpy, Varys
and Tyrion together.
Yeah.
And they have a face that they can use. Yeah, I mean, that's very interesting. I really like how that ended up shaking out.
Do you think Jorah's ever coming back? He's got this grayscale. I don't know that he makes it back to Marine. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, having him have grayscale is very interesting because it puts him on a clock.
Yeah.
And
you think so anyway?
But again, we're way past, I mean, that part, like we're quite a bit past the book. So, but I got to say, yeah, I mean, it seems like they do that to give him, he's going to be meant to give some kind of noble sacrifice. But as Tyrion said, neither one of those are two proper consorts for the queen. And honestly, the other thing is like getting rid of Barristan. I feel the situation like the Jorah and Dario roadshow, which I am with child to see more of. I feel like that's much more interesting than if Barristan was also kind of, cock blocking him riding in between. And no. It's like I kind of want to see him go at it.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, they were just reduced to bickering within minutes of Dany's.
I would totally buy Dario just killing him as soon as they get outside. As your queen, he took a spill off the cliff, damnedest thing, he's bravest man I've ever met. It's like that's totally in Dario's character.
Yeah,
it's not in Jorah's character to do that.
Yeah, they'll sell swords.
Yeah,
not worth their weight in gold.
Yeah,
or whatever.
So yeah, I like that.
There's one other thing to talk about.
Is there? What
Jon
about
Snow.
We didn't talk about Arya? You just want to leave it as a confusing mess, and we'll talk about it on the podcast?
I'm totally confused. I need to watch that again before I
right.
come up with any opinion on it.
Yeah, because I liked it, but a lot of the stuff, like the same thing with John. We're going to talk to him. This whole sending Sam off to the Citadel. I feel like that's another thing that suffers from the timing. Like John says, man, dude, I just saw this dude resurrect like 50, 60,000 wildling is the biggest damn army in the world. I'm scared shitless. You should send me away to be a maester. I'll be a good advisor in like 3 to 4 years. If I take 16 credit hours a semester, I could have my chains forged. And I mean, come on.
What service is he going to be?
Yeah.
At that point, yeah.
They do play it off like it's a little bit more like selfish that I just need to I need to get my girl out of the town and get us away from here. And I'm not really going to be useful for you in the combat situation.
That's the thing. Like I never believed that Sam could put up a fight against the White Walkers. He's better off. Like send him down there on some Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Hope he comes up with some information in time to help somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, you know, the timing for him was perfect.
Yeah.
John comes back. He gets out of there right before the traitor thing happens. John's killed, and he certainly would have been killed too.
Yeah. And I think that John, the way Kit Harington played that was kind of fatalistic. Like, yeah, this isn't a great plan, Sam, but also I kind of see your point and whatever. Good on you for getting away. Pound, you know, pound it out.
You know, they've become buddies over the years. So like he's also doing him a favor.
Sure. And this also is kind of it works better because it was an echo of Sam's kind of like, so how was it when he found out he had sex with Egret?
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of that, which is I thought kind of sweet.
Sure.
What did you think about John getting for the watched?
It was I don't know. I mean, like I'm not heartbroken. I'm not the biggest John fan in the world. I think
he brought it around the season. You got to give it to
He did, yeah. I mean, I totally didn't care about him a couple of seasons ago, and since he's gone to the wall and he's put up with so much shit, and he's become this really strong, you know, character with his heart in the right place, his head in the right place. I've had a lot more sympathy for him, but like I'm just not the biggest John lover in the world.
Yeah.
So seeing him killed doesn't get me all weepy. Like I'm sure 1,000% of the audience was. But at the same time, it's a really good scene. It's like, yeah, this is the end of a character who's beloved to most of the audience.
Right.
And the way in which it happens is both, you know, cringeworthy and like that God, you fucking bastards sort of way. But it's totally understandable too.
What happens at the wall now? Sam's
Alistair
gone.
Thorne, man.
Sam's
Alistair's
gone.
gonna take
John's
over.
gone.
Or Ollie might take over. We might have a Rufio situation here. It's going to be a bangerang at the wall.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Alistair takes over. Why does he let the wildlings through only to then kill John? Why not just say, no, not going to let you guys in. Starve and freeze north of the wall.
Don't know. Not sure why they all...
Just didn't want to fight? Wanted to be a little more stealthy. But he let the wildlings through. Like there's... 10,000 wildlings roaming around the north now?
5 to 10, yeah. You think that there's going to be a scene of them just like ranging and butchering them all in their sleep or something? It's going to be a...
How are they going to do that with 100 black brothers?
Look at what the Ramsay did to 20 good men.
Oh, that's true.
100 horse rapists and thieves, you know.
Indeed, yeah.
They're not good men. They're not particular, you know, they're just...
Not at all.
I don't know. Maybe that's you need bad men for a job like that. Yeah. What do you think of so Davos and Melisandre's the other two POV characters we got?
Yeah,
up at the wall too.
I was hoping Davos would find out what happened and just put a knife in her.
Are you kind of surprised that I guess he's like too grief stricken, and if you know, it's like nobody at the wall I don't think has any particular love for her,
and he doesn't know what happened, right? He doesn't know that she made
Stannis she could have just been the last. She could have just been the last survivor of a brutal defeat.
Like, what she should have done is stopped along the way and like written one of those notes that said like, Stannis sent me north to tell you that the battle's gone badly, stay at the wall or something like that. Like last minute sort of fake out thing. But I don't know. I hate Melisandre even more for realizing, oh, this has gone horribly wrong. My powers are complete bullshit and I'm going to peace out.
Her powers aren't complete bullshit though.
They were in this case.
Yeah,
this did not fucking work.
So that's the really interesting thing about her. What can she do? Because it's not like
take her clothes off. I guess she can do that.
It's not like she can do nothing. And also, do you think she was a true believer? Do you think she was just as shocked as anyone that didn't work out?
That's a good question.
Because I think that's interesting. In the same way, like, you know, The Leftovers. Where it's like, do you have a guy who is full of shit and he knows it? Do you have a guy who's full of shit and honestly believes in it? Because that's...
if I had to guess, I'd say, yeah, she believed it.
So if she believed it, why did she then abandon Stannis when half his men left and his wife hung herself?
Because she didn't believe it that much. Like,
that's the
all of the odds were stacked against her. And yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe she's a charlatan. I'm not sure.
She played it like she's a true believer, but she hustled to the wall like there's another agenda there.
Yeah. I don't know. I just hope she gets killed very soon.
Okay.
Very soon.
All right, sure.
I'll have to wait for a year to see it, but
yeah, it's the finale. Goddamn. Sick.
Yeah.
I think that, so Arya, let's see if we can get all this cliffhangers. What's Jamie doing with his dead niece child?
Turning that boat around.
All right, there's one cliffhanger. Arya got blinded.
Yep.
By the light. By the multiple confusing autoerotic suicides.
Yeah.
What else? Sansa took a leap of faith. That's cliffhanger / whatever. What else?
Tyrion and Varys are running the city.
and Dany's surrounded by Dothraki and Drogon's being a shitty teenager dragon. That's 4.
Yeah, I don't know if I would call it Tyrion thing.
Sam going off to the Citadel?
Nah, not. I mean, what are you really greatly anticipating? Like, what's he gonna do with the Citadel? No, he's gonna go south and he's gonna learn some shit. We kind of know, you know.
I'm
like same with Tyrion and Varys. We know that they're gonna try and run Marine.
But what I'm saying is, yes, I'm interested in that because that's probably going to. I mean, and the show's kind of been ham-fisted in the way they suggested that Sam's learning seems like it's going to be key to winning this war. Keep reading, Sam. You got found out the dragon. What else are you going to find out?
I wonder if he will discover how to forge Valyrian steel.
Or something like that. I mean, because he's going to essentially the Library of Alexandria of his time.
Yeah.
It's like got the vast repository of all human knowledge. And also, we've seen in previous seasons that the Meisters are kind of like magic schmagic. They stopped studying it a long time ago. But yet we know in this day and age that magic is becoming. So you wonder, like, is there like a forbidden section of the library, Harry Potter style, where he's got to go and get a special card? And I think that's going to be key. So I'm interested because I'm a big lore whore, and my main source of lore whoring is probably going to be Sam and the Citadel in the upcoming years.
It's going to be just as interesting as Ewan McGregor in the library on Coruscant.
The Jedi Arc. Fuck you, man. That's a low blow.
All right, I think that's about it. We've got
we got a whole other podcast to talk about.
Another 2 hours of this stuff, so we'll be back on Tuesday. Yeah,
yeah, we will be back on Tuesday.
All right, if they want to send in their feedback for that cast, how do they do?
Game of Thrones at baldmove.com. I can feel my email account melting right now.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, we also Facebook and all that stuff.
You can go on Twitter on @baldmove and Facebook and forums too, because it's a great place to talk spoilers. And I'm sure, this is an interesting thing is like, I'm pretty sure you guys are all caught up now. You are
completely.
We're either in beyond the books or caught up with every major plot point. So I'm starting to think if Winds of Winter doesn't come out next year, I'm thinking about folding you into the speculation part.
Okay.
Yeah. Because there's like, the details and things like that and hints that you might get that the book, but nothing.
Here's a better question. Should I start reading the books?
You won't.
No. Like not the back catalog. Fuck the back catalog. Okay. Like if he releases a new one, start reading from there.
You'd be very confused about where Jamie is and like saying there's a lot of remixing, but it's people ask me all the time, like Walking Dead, could I start reading and I'm like, yeah, you'll be confused for a couple issues and then you'll start rolling with it. So but
would that be good for the podcast? I don't know.
Probably not. And it's going to drive book people crazy because like literally that is asked in some of the forums and stuff, like on a weekly basis. And like 99-1, everybody's like, just read the fucking books, okay? Read the fucking books.
Read all of them?
Read them all.
12,000 pages?
All. Choke on it. Choke on those words.
Yeah, that's a real easy thing to say when you've already read them.
We got the Audible stuff. We just have Roy Deutschers read you to sleep every night.
Silky, sultry voice. All right, that's it.
Think of all the fat pink masks you've yet to discover.
That's true. That's true. I'm curious how he describes Cersei's walk, but we'll find out.
Non-sexually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can imagine.
Although knowing human sexuality like I do, pretty sure there's men and women turned on by that scene.
There was nothing sexy about that scene.
Just, keep it.
Like if you had told me that we were going to see Lena Headey fully nude, full frontal nudity,
and you would not be aroused at all.
I would have said you're crazy.
I bet there's
no way.
I bet there's a dozen threads on FetLife right now talk about reenacting that scene. And you know what, kids? Keep it safe, keep it consensual, have yourself a good time.
Wow. And with that, we'll see you on Tuesday. Thanks everyone for listening. See you then.
Bye-bye.